Visit gocurrency.com. Class C1 quarterfinal opening the day at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, just like it did last year with top-seeded Lincoln Christian taking on North Bend Central. This time, though, it's Lincoln Christian who's the defending champs and playing like it early on. Opened the game on a 10-0 run. Macy Pittenger hitting the triple there. North Bend Central would answer, though. Played strong. Played down low there by Reese Peterson, who had 4 points in the first quarter. Lincoln Christian saw their 10-point lead trimmed to 4 after this three-pointer by Mia Beebe. It is 16-12 after 1. To the second quarter we go. And North Bend Central hanging with the top seed. Winners of 36 in a row. That's Beebe again. Correction, that's Lauren Stirrup off the screen, able to get it to go. But Lincoln Christian would extend their lead toward the end of the half. Pittenger had 7 first-half points. Mattia Casabon was brilliant in the first half. Beautiful step through there, 8 points, 5 rebounds over the first 2 quarters. Lincoln Christian extending their lead, but Emmanuel with a miracle shot toward the end of the half makes it a 13-point lead. That would actually be the beginning of an extended 10-0 run for North Bend Central. They get back within 6, but Lincoln Christian starts to pull away. Casabon with the floater. She finished in double figures with 10. North Bend trying to answer. Emmanuel, brilliant in her final game. Gets it to go through contact at 23 points and 11 rebounds. Latter stages, third quarter, Lincoln Christian finally gets one to go from deep. That was their first make after 2 straight quarters of misses. Deerking hits from deep. Lincoln Christian extending their lead, heading to the fourth. In the fourth, North Bend doing just enough to hang around. Lauren Stirrup finished the game with 11. Foot on the line for that shot, but too much from Lincoln Christian in the end. The drive, the dish, Samantha Deerking with 3 of her 9 points, and Lincoln Christian wins number 37 in a row, 60-45 over North Bend Central. The 4-5 matchup in Class C1, Gothenburg versus Bridgeport. Long drives to make it to Lincoln. One of them, it would be worth it. Gothenburg, well, you couldn't start a game much better than they did. Good pass there, up and in for Halsey Tamala. Had a great first half for the Swedes. This game was all about outside shooting early on. That's Alex Beveridge, the senior, hitting from deep. Gothenburg opens the game on a 20-0 run. Bridgeport would come back tail end of the first quarter. Olivia Brown, the sophomore, had a brilliant game for the Bulldogs, but it's still a 19-point lead for Gothenburg after 1. Second quarter, Brown finds her off outside shot. That went off the window. Brown finished with 24 points for Gothenburg, but Zoe Beveridge, the sophomore, you cannot shoot the ball much better than she did in this ball game. Hits the 3 there to extend the lead. Bridgeport down 21. They're able to find an outside shot of their own. Casey Fromm, senior, hitting from deep, but Gothenburg continuing to extend their lead. And into the second half we go. Bridgeport would go on a bit of a run. It was an extended 13-0 run, including that three-pointer there from Ella Schluterbusch. And then in transition, Schluterbusch off the steal, running over 2 defenders. Bridgeport was able to get the lead down to 7 at one point after trailing by as much as 22. But in the fourth quarter, how about a nice play here from Bridgeport? Inside out. Brown again finished with 24 points like we said, but just too much outside shooting. Zoe Beveridge, 8 3-pointers, tying the all-class state tournament record, a new record in Class C1. She had 28 points, was our player of the game. Olivia Brown hitting from deep here, but not enough for Bridgeport. Gothenburg will put it away at the end here. Alex Beveridge, 14 3-pointers for Gothenburg, 45% from beyond the arc, and the Swedes get the win, 69-51, and are on to face Lincoln Christian in the semifinals.
Top plays in this one as we are ready for Scotus and Minden, the Whippets and the Shamrocks. Handshakes at the center of the court. They get things rolling between these two teams. As this bracket's been fun so far, Lincoln Christian and Gothenburg set to meet up, and now Minden and the winner of our next one. But first, let's start off with the Whippets. Here's a nice drive inside from your player of the game, Maddie Camry. She finished the game with a fantastic 15-point effort. She went 7 of 10 from the free throw line. That's how you do well from the stripe in these big moments. 11-4, Minden out to that big lead. Scotus trying to rally back. Nice move from Brzezinski to dish it off to Emily Cavan. Had 2 big buckets in that first quarter. As we go to quarter number 2, 17-6. Whippets with an 11-point lead. Scotus trying to come right back, and the Shamrocks able to get a bucket from Lola Dorneman. She had 15 points in the effort tonight. 17-8 now the score. Here's the drive and a foul and one. Kinsey Land gets the shot to fall and gets the extra chance at the free throw line, which she was able to convert. 23-10 three-pointer on the way, and that is buried by McKenna Starkey. It's all Minden in quarter number 2. They've got a 16-point lead. Shamrocks trying to go back underneath, and it's a good shot from Mallory Dreesen. Try to bring the lead back to 14. Whippets led by as many as 18 in that first half of basketball. Go to quarter number 3, 26-12. Here's a shot floated in by McKenna Betty. Had 4 points on the night and a big one there. Now here comes Scotus, an 18-point lead, starting to rally back. Mallory Dreesen with the bucket. Shamrocks have a little bit of momentum, 32-20. Now here's Brzezinski, takes a 3 and knocks it down. Okay, 9-point game. The Shamrocks staying in it, not quite done yet. We go to quarter number 4, 32-25. Now here's a 3. Mallory Dreesen gets it, and she was fouled. Dreesen with a chance at the free throw line. Now she wasn't able to convert the free throw, but you see what happens after the fact. Here's the miss. Look at that. Dorneman, offensive rebound, back up and in, and another foul. And just like that, Scotus is within 2. 37-32, Shamrocks were able to tie the game. And here's that shot underneath. A big one from Kinsey Land, which essentially put things away. 11 points for Land, and they got the win over the Scotus Shamrocks as the 2 seed stays alive over the 7 seed, 42-37. Getting things started, the winner of this one, Milford or Arlington, will take on Minden on Friday in the Class C1 semifinals, as this bracket is almost shaped up. And we get started. Milford with probably one of the best starts we've seen. Threes good from Taylor Oldfield, and they go out to a 9-0 lead. Heck of a start for Milford. Got it going there, and now an answer back from Arlington. First 3 of the ball game from them, trying to get back on the board. Libby Hegeman had her only three-pointer there. Now here's Rottenberg, and then Yeckley with a big three-pointer. Three-pointers were really good from Milford today, as Arlington trying to rally back in it. A nice pass finding Carvajal for the bucket, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. It was a 13-point lead for Milford, but Milford found their shot again. Taylor Oldfield knocks down another three-pointer to increase the lead for Milford, and they would just keep it going, 28-19. Here's the drive by Roth. She was phenomenal today. Finds a nice pass inside to a wide open Ashlyn Miller. Finished with 6 points and gets the bucket to fall as we go to the second half. A 35-20 lead for Arlington, or for Milford in that first half over Arlington. Yeckley keeps it going right where she left off with a three-pointer. 38-27. Arlington trying to rally back. There's a tough shot with a foul. It drops. Good one, falls. That's Macy Wolf with the bucket. 38-29 the score. Arlington with the basketball, trying to keep their climb back in. Stepping up to the line is a 3 from Britt Nielsen. It's single digits once again. Milford back with the basketball. They want to keep extending that lead, and they do. Izzy Yeckley had 5 threes on the night. Finished the game with 16 points. 51-36 Milford. And plays like this is why they were able to open up that lead. Outstretching it with a steal up the floor to Taylor Oldfield, who had 11 points tonight. 20-point lead for Milford, 57-37, and Roth, a nice drive to the basket. Ayla Roth finishes the game with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. She was close to a triple-double, too. Mentioned Rottenberg being just 2 blocks away from a triple-dub. Ayla Roth also close there, too. 59-40, a minute 40 to go in the game. Here's Roth, the drive, the floater off the glass, it's good. As Milford gets the win, 61-40. The over the Arlington Eagles. The first win for Milford at the state level in program history in their first trip since 2008. Milford gets the win. There's a look at the crowd. It's been an exciting one. Elm Creek and Diller-Odell, 2 seed and the 7 seed, as our third game in Class D1 about to get underway. And here's the run from Elm Creek. A nice finish off the bucket and off the glass for Ryan Erickson. Got the game opened up for the Buffaloes. 10-4 is the lead. Three-pointer, Kendall Cavany. Unbelievable night for her. 6 3-pointers in the game, and that was just her first. But an answer back from Miley Weirs, a UNK Loper, to end the first quarter. 14-10 at the end of one. Buffaloes with a narrow 4-point lead. Now with the basketball, three-pointer, another one dropping. That time getting it to fall was Ashley Bauer. 28-15. Midway through the second quarter, Weirs dribbling through her legs and breaking down to defender and excited for a big-time three. 33-21, 1:20 to go. Kendall Cavany finds a crease. Can't leave her that much space, because if you do, we've seen what can happen. Kendall Cavany, a big three-pointer. Second half, 40-23, a shot at the glass, and it's good for Aiden McKinney. Trying to get things right back into the action. 45-31, third quarter. Another three-pointer buried by Ashley Bauer. Every time it felt like Diller-Odell would make a step back into the comeback, a three-pointer by the other end would make it a big one. Now here's Miley Weirs, still fighting hard for the Griffins, trying to fight back in the ballgame as we head to the fourth quarter. But Elm Creek still with a big lead, 50-34, and Kendall Cavany, another one. Drops a big three to kick off the fourth quarter, and she wasn't done. That was her 5th three, as Miley Weirs answers back. Finds a friendly way in off the back of the rim and drops. 56-39. Back inside, a foul and the bucket. Knapp gets it to go. And a victory for Elm Creek, their first win at state in 20 years, 60-44.
Southwest, Cedar Catholic. Southwest, the number 3 seed. Cedar Catholic, despite that record, we keep talking about the conference they're in. That's why they're the 6th seed with 11 losses, playing a lot of C1 and C2. But once the offense finally got going here for Cedar Catholic, like we said, it was 4-3 forever. Southwest had that lead, and there's Pick knocking down one, 10-4. Then a good bounce pass inside. The layup for our player of the game, Arns, 12-4. It was 19-7 at the end of the first quarter, because Cedar Catholic started turning the ball over here, getting some turnovers on Southwest, hitting some layups, and taking that lead by 12 after the first quarter. And then they just continued to extend it. This is where Southwest started to get a little frustrated, because they couldn't get the ball inside. They kept turning the ball over. The three-pointers, and they didn't take a lot, weren't falling. And the lead up to 15. There's one of the many back cuts. A nice pass from Walter inside. Glamours puts it up and in. And Southwest finally gets a little something. Aspen Billiter able to knock one down before halftime. It was 29-12 at halftime in favor of Cedar Catholic. We mentioned, well, how will things go in the second half? We'll find out in the first 3 minutes. Well, where's our first highlight? 4.5 minutes in. It was 2-2. That's all we'd had the first 4.5 minutes, and we didn't have much scoring at all until, again, late in the game. The third quarter, Guy August makes the nice bounce pass, and Nelms is able to lay it up and in. But Southwest was down 38-18, and a little bit more early on in the fourth quarter here from Cedar Catholic. They eventually got the lead out to 27, where the game ended. And there again is Arns with another layup. Outlet pass transition. Doesn't look like they have numbers right. 2 on 5. Okay, nobody's guarding me. Let's bank down a 3 with Savannah Pick. And that's the kind of night it ended up being here for Cedar Catholic as they cruise to the state semifinals, 54-27.